So let's do the arteries first. And they're named somewhat where they're at. So here we got this subclavian artery coming over. Now it's the axillary artery. Wrapping around the top of the humerus, going in a circle around it, would be the humeral circumflex artery. Then the brachial artery, which has a branch called the deep profundi brachii or brachii profundi, a combination of those words somehow. And he likes this one not only on this test but on the final as well. It's deep profundus, or deep brachii profundi. Upsilon goes deep.
I think it's profunda brachii.
Again, yeah, I've seen it so many ways, but yeah, profundi brachii. And brachii meaning the arm, and profundus because it goes deep. Profundi. All right. So then, continuing down, we're going to get into the forearm, and it splits. On the radial side, remember the cadaver, on the radial side we'll have the radial nerve, and on the ulnar side, we'll have the ulnar nerve, radial artery, and on the ulnar side, the ulnar artery. Okay, so now, there's an anatomist that's naming all these things, and it's Friday afternoon, and he just wants to get home, or she just wants to get home, so he's just going to start naming these things because that's where they're at, and he just wants to get out of there. So, in between the two bones, we're going to call that, in between the bones, so bones osseous, so interosseous arteries and interosseous arteries. And since one's in front, he's just going to quickly call that an anterior interosseous artery, and the one in back, we'll call that a posterior interosseous artery, moving right along, okay? But now before they connect, off the ulnar artery comes a little branch, and what are things called before they split, usually? Common. So this is a common interosseous artery. Then it splits into anterior and posterior interosseous. And further down, now we're going to have, actually this one's been broken. Shoot, this one's broken. All right, but in the palm, there's one on top and one on bottom, or one closer to the surface, one a little further away from the surface. You want to go home, it's a Friday night, what are you going to call the one on top? Superficial. And since it looks like an arch, palmar arch, and it's in the palm, so superficial palmar arch. So what's the other one? You want to go home, what are you going to call it? Deep palmar arch. Okay, so superficial palmar arch, and below that would be the deep palmar arch. Yeah, that would be, because it's, some, I don't know. So, okay, so those are the arteries. Again, axillary, humeral circumflex, brachial, brachii profundi. Is that, to say that right? Brachii profundi something. And then down here, common interosseous artery, then ulnar and radial artery, superficial and deep palmar arch in the palm.
Isn't there one more artery? We learned it.
Like right subclavian or left subclavian?
No, I'll find it.
Okay. Now, there is, in between these two bones is a membrane. What do you want to call it? Interosseous membrane. Right. So in between these two bones, or interosseous, is going to be a membrane, and connecting the two, and that's the interosseous membrane. There is a model over there that shows it, but just know that the membrane is there. Interosseous. What was it?
Is the thoracoacromial artery? Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be way up. Don't worry about that one. That's up here. Yeah, it's not going to be on this. Okay, and then veins. There's only 3 veins to know. Cephalic, basilic, and median cubital. All right, so which one is which? We got here and there. Now, on the outside, we're going to call that the cephalic vein. How do we remember this? Well, on the inside, we're going to call the basilic vein. Or how about on the inside, like the base, is going to be the basilic. Cephalad is head. So on the outside, we're going to call that the cephalic, although I'm not sure why you would say that would be head, but it just looks more out there. You can see it's like it's in your arm, either side of your biceps is going to be the cephalic vein, and inside is going to be the basilic vein. Okay. And then the median cubital, this one doesn't really have one. In this model, others do. Crosses over. Cubit, by the way, is the cubital area would be the elbow area. is when you see that word cubital. So, median cubital is going to be in the elbow. Does anybody know what vein that is? Why that vein's important? Draw blood from. What were you going to say?
Crosses the blood.
Oh, well, it does that too, but yeah, when they, if they take your blood, they're looking for that median cubital. Okay? Those are the only three veins to know in the arm. The other veins are going to be in the heart and lungs. Okay, so cephalic, basilic, and median cubital. Basilic is going to be the inside, cephalic is going to be the outside. I think that is it now. I believe I covered everything. Questions? Anything you want me to go over again? If you want to color, yes. If you want me to go over something with you, I can do that. There's arm muscles up here too. You have about 10 minutes or